You know, in the high-stakes, multi-trillion-dollar world of AI, it all comes down to the balance of power. And a brand new alliance was just formed that could shift that entire balance. Okay, let's get right into it.
So, let's set the scene. It's March 18th, 2026. The stage is Samsung's absolutely massive, state-of-the-art semiconductor campus in Pyeongtaek. Now, this was no ordinary business trip. This was Lisa Su's first visit to the country since she took the top job at AMD way back in 2014, which was a huge signal that something major was about to go down.
And this is what came out of it. This quote from Samsung CEO, well, it cuts right to the chase. This wasn't just some simple deal to buy a few parts. Oh no. This was a full-blown declaration that they are building a new, vertically integrated powerhouse together. Samsung is offering what they call a turnkey solution, which is basically a one-stop shop for everything you need to build a world-class AI chip. The memory, the logic, the packaging, all of it under one roof.
To really understand just how big of a deal this is, we've got to pop the hood and look at the technological engine at its heart. And we're talking about the most advanced memory chips ever built. Okay, just look at the numbers on this slide, because this is where things get really, really interesting. The whole partnership is built around Samsung supplying its 6th-generation HBM4, that's high bandwidth memory. And I mean, look at the jump in performance. The pin speed goes way up, the bandwidth nearly triples, and it's all built on a much more advanced 4-nanometer process. Believe me, this is not just a little step forward, this is a massive generational leap. Let's just put that bandwidth number into perspective for a second. Samsung's HBM4 gives you a staggering 2.7 times the memory bandwidth of what came before it. You have to remember, today's giant AI models are constantly starved for data. So being able to feed them that data nearly 3 times faster, that is an absolute game changer. So the big question is, where is all this power actually going? Well, this new HBM4 memory is basically the high-octane fuel for AMD's entire next-generation AI platform. We're talking about their top-of-the-line AI accelerator, the Instinct MI55X. It also includes advanced DDR5 memory for their super-powerful EPYC Venice server CPUs. And then it all gets pulled together into the AMD Helios platform, which is basically a full-scale data center architecture in a rack. But this deal goes so much deeper than just memory. It's actually poised to reshape the very foundation of how the world's most advanced chips get made. So get this, AMD and Samsung are in deep discussions for Samsung to actually manufacture future AMD chips. And not just any chips, we're talking about using Samsung's cutting-edge 2-nanometer process. And as you can see from this timeline, Samsung is moving fast. They're rolling out 2-nanometer for high-performance computing, which is exactly what AMD needs, starting in 2026. And this chart really just spells out the whole strategic play here. For years, the industry has been dominated by the TSMC model. They are the absolute best in the world at manufacturing, but they need partners for memory and packaging. Samsung is coming to the table with a totally different idea. That turnkey solution we mentioned, this is it, a true one-stop shop. They can build the chip, supply the memory, and package it all together. For a company like AMD, that kind of integration could mean better performance, lower costs, and a much more stable supply chain. Now, this alliance isn't just about the hardware, not at all. It's also about creating a whole new, open ecosystem to challenge the software lock-in that exists today. And it all starts with another key partnership in Korea. So, to really get this next part, we need to understand a concept called sovereign AI. This is a huge global movement that's picking up steam. It's all about nations wanting to develop and control their own AI infrastructure. You know, they want to make sure their data stays private, and they want to reduce their dependence on just a handful of foreign tech giants. It's becoming a massive priority, both economically and geopolitically. And that's exactly where this comes in. As part of her trip, Lisa Su also met with the CEO of Naver, which is basically Korea's biggest tech company. They're teaming up to build an open alternative to Nvidia's proprietary system, which has kept developers locked into its CUDA software for years. AMD is going to provide the hardware for Naver's massive AI model, and together they're going to offer a complete hardware and software package to that growing global market of countries like Saudi Arabia and Thailand that are all searching for these sovereign AI solutions. Okay, so we've looked at all the pieces, the next-gen memory, the 2-nanometer manufacturing, and this new software ecosystem. So now let's zoom out and look at what kind of shockwaves this alliance sends through the entire multi-trillion-dollar AI industry. This image from JP Morgan Asset Management really captures the current landscape perfectly. You've got Nvidia and TSMC sitting inside what many people see as an indestructible moat, guarded by a dragon. It's a fortress of technology and market share that seems totally impenetrable. Well, this is the fortress that the AMD-Samsung alliance has been designed to challenge.
So when you boil it all down, this deal has three huge strategic consequences. First, AMD gets to diversify. It's no longer so critically dependent on a single supplier, TSMC. Second, Samsung gains major ground. It secures a huge, high-profile customer to prove its leadership in both 2nm tech and HBM4 memory, taking the fight right to its biggest competitors. And third, and this might be the most important part, a new, viable, and open alternative to the closed ecosystem that currently dominates the market is born.
Which, of course, leaves us with the ultimate question. For years, the AI landscape has been defined by one dominant power structure. Now, a new contender has emerged, combining expertise in design, memory, and manufacturing. So in this global AI arms race, you have to wonder, is this the alliance that finally cracks that indestructible moat?